Lights on, cameras on, and we're on the stream here from Hamburg about the OM-D E-M1X launch. And we have another expert talk, and this one is about filmmaking with this camera. And Olympus has invited two photographers from Kauas for filmmaking.
Kauas Creative.
Kauas Creative.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering what the hell is Kauas, we just have to flip you around.
Yeah.
Show what it says on your back. We went too far, which is?
Kauas actually stands for going the distance. So we kind of like joke about it. We sometimes go too far with what we do.
So you are a film production company. Let's talk about you first a little bit. What do you do in life, and how did you get into Kauas?
So these days I'm a cinematographer and a director. I started out in photography around 12, 13 years ago. Did that professionally for 8-ish years. But when the whole DSLR video revolution started, picked a camera up, started doing video, did a bunch of feature films and documentaries, and now in advertising and haven't looked back since.
All right, Joonas, you are also a filmmaker. What's your path so far?
Yeah, well, I also started as a photographer for like 18 years ago, and then at some point I also picked video because I was interested in it, and I've been doing video for a long time also, and on more advertising field, and now we've been working with Janne and in Kauas.
Okay, so filmmaking professionals, your company produces films as a business.
Yeah.
And I know you from a while ago because at the launch of the OM-D E-M5 Mark II in Prague, you were present and you were showing the film capabilities of that camera. Yeah. And now here's the next one with serious ambitions in the movie making area. So, and as you said, Kauas means to go the extra mile, to go a little bit further. And I think you did go a little bit further when Olympus contacted you about doing something with this camera.
Yeah, quite so. When Olympus contacted, we had they told us we've got about 20 new features that you somehow need to show in the format of a film, and please tell a nice story. And showing camera features with the story doesn't really mix and match, so we did something interesting, which was to create a trailer for a movie that I would like to make. So the movie, no, it has not been made completely, but it had the chance to show off all these features in a format that's familiar to people.
Okay, and so that you know what we're talking about, we have to watch that trailer because it makes things so much more easy to talk about when you have seen what these guys actually produced. Let's have a look at this trailer.
I'm in charge of your father's case here. Your father can't remember his past prior to this event. We have noticed that he reacts to cues about his family.
Wait, so I got called in to play doctor for him?
Just take him to a safe environment where there are objects, cues, triggers that are emotionally familiar to him. And in that place with you and Lily, it could just be enough to trigger his memory.
Usually, you would sit inside, and I would throw rocks at the window. My part is to run away. Your part is to try and catch me. Well, in fact, you're it.
Grandpa, what's between you and Dad?
I think I've done something to him. Something we need to work out.
Let's go.
I feel like we buried a lot of things that summer with that dog.
He has a strong emotional connection to you and your daughter.
No, you don't understand. We're not that kind of family. Like,
Pops, what I want to understand is why isn't she here? But you are.
Get off this stupid island.
No, I don't go anywhere!
I didn't ask for your opinion. Come on.
You wait right here!
What?
Don't do what I did to you! Run! Yes!
He put everything that I cared about down there.
Are you scared?
Now you want to come to play pops?
Yes!
You want to my life? Now you want to come back?
Yes! Scared fight!
The only picture in the wallet was this one, and it took us a while to figure it out. It's you and your daughter. Most people would kill for the chance to have a fresh beginning with their parents. And from the sound of it, you guys could use one.
So, I'm sorry. Do I get a vote?
He's your father.
He's not much of a father.
You hear it, and I don't know if it's the same for you, but I've watched this the third time now, and every time it gives me goosebumps. I'm like, I can see myself sitting in a cinema with a popcorn there, and I'm watching this. Everything in this looks like a cinema movie. The edit, the sound, the cut, the colors, the format, the cinema 4K, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's all there. Now you have to tell us, how did you produce this? What was involved, and how do you do this?
Well, I mean, first of all, the camera is a proper cinematic tool. I believe that there's no such thing as a perfect camera, but there's the right camera for the story. And this camera happened to be the perfect camera for this story. We had 2 days to shoot.
The whole thing was
shot in 2 days. I think we had 35 sequences in 2 days. If you understand movie making, between 5 and 10 sequences is a maximum. So doing 20 sequences in 1 day should not be possible. But the big thing with this camera is what Olympus does really well is stabilization. And not just stabilization, I'm going to stand here, stand put, and everything's going to look nice. But the thing that Olympus is able to have somehow coded the stabilization, that it allows you to move, and it allows you to really do things that, like, instead of fighting against you, and it's like, I move here and it's trying to fight this way, it's allowing you to make these really cinematic movements that look like, I can go from something that looks still to something that's pushing in like a tripod, something that follows around like a steady cam, and do things that are not supposed to be able to do on something like this, that you would usually require a 5-man crew and a bunch of equipment. Yeah.
Joonas, for you, does this change the way you film?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, because like Janne said, the stabilization, and now with the new log features, there's so much room more in post-processing, and I can correct the highlights and the shadows much more better than before.
We should probably take at least a quick moment to talk about OM-Log, what it is, because it might be very familiar to you, not everybody out there. What is OM-Log?
So OM-Log 400, what that basically is it is not raw video, but it is a very flat profile of the picture. So usually if you have your blacks here and the whites here, a normal picture profile packs everything in here, like edge to edge. What the log mode does, it kind of packs everything in more in the middle, it takes up saturation, and it gives you more room in each RGB channel to color correct it in the post. And in this world of cinema, we use color correction as a dramatic tool. If we want things to feel sad, we make it more blue. If we want things to feel really bright and happy, we'll add oranges, add things to kind of accentuate that story, what's going on. So it really makes it a properly more cinematic tool for color.
So this is the cinematic look one sees when looking at this trailer, this feeling.
Yeah.
It just it has that look.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was quite easy to actually achieve. It wasn't a heavy duty post-processing or heavy duty color grading. Yeah. It was fairly easy to make it look really cinematic.
Yeah, it's really great straight out of the camera. So.
Okay. Even though it looks so flat to start with, you get what you want out of it.
Yeah, it's very easy. Some log profiles are too flat, too desaturated, and it takes a lot of professionalism to really get that out of there. But with this, you can basically just tweak the contrast curves, do some small things, and you can get an image that is pleasing and cinematic. Yeah.
Skin tones are always the tricky thing to get them right. Were you happy?
Super happy. I think actually color is the biggest change in this camera. for me personally. Skin tones are very important because I shoot images with a lot of people. Sometimes it might be something that somebody's just cried and I really want that redness of the eyes and that gradation in their faces or the way sunlight hits their face to help tell the story. And they really did something with the colors here that are totally different to the EM1X already. Like I see a big generational jump. And you're able to get these skin tones that are really pleasant and natural and have that detail and that difference. So everything's not mushy and messed up, but you really have this natural, real human being that you get connected with on the screen.
4K is almost a must these days. Cinema 4K, that's the wide angle, the wide look on the film?
Cinema 4K is a bit wider. It's called DCI 4K, but it's not, the really wide is kind of like this anamorphic CinemaScope version. But you want to talk about the codec? Cinema 4K?
Yeah, well, we've shot it in DCI 4K also because it has the much higher bandwidth in the video. It has 237 bits of in 1 second, so there's a lot of room to color grading.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you shot the film, you directed the film, but Kauas wouldn't be Kauas if you didn't go the extra mile. You produced the making of, right?
Yeah, I was, while Janne was directing or DP was doing the main film, I was doing the behind-the-scenes video and just running with them and trying to figure out what's the next scene, and being able to move so fast with the camera was the key thing on that, because there was no time to rehearse all the shots. We just run and gun it.
Let's have a look at the extra mile, because they even filmed the making of, which gives you more impressions of how it actually looked on set. Let's have a look at this one.
So hi, my name is Janne Amunét. I'm a director. I'm from Helsinki, Finland. For me, the movie is kind of like the pinnacle of storytelling. When Olympus first approached us with this case, what format can we do that allows us to tell as many possible scenes in different kinds of action, different dialogue, different situations, going from light to dark and fast movement, slow movement, into trailer. So we set out to create a movie that I would like to make and a trailer version of that. My first impressions with this new camera is that it really takes what the EM1X did really well. It is a huge generational jump, and it pretty much perfects on that. This camera, with its image quality, with the way that it handles its ruggedness, its stabilization, which is a really big key feature, it really allows me to free up the way I use the camera on set and the way I structure scenes on set. Instead of having to cut between every shot, we can really fluidly move within the set, going from camera move to camera move, and that is a huge plus. The thing that we kept asking for was give us log mode, and that was finally delivered on this camera. And not only delivered, but I feel like they've completely revamped the way this camera does colors. Not only do we have more detail in the highlights and the shadows, the skin tones have been cleaned up dramatically. People look alive, they look vibrant. The shadows are way cleaner than before, which were already really clean. There's way more highlight detail, and honestly, when compared to the industry right now, I think Olympus has some of the better skin tones for the cameras. There's a moment in the movie where one of our main characters takes a shower, and he's breaking down in the shower, and things are getting really, really heavy. So we strip everything off of the camera. The operator went in the shower with the guy. There's water dripping off the lenses. This guy's crying, and it just turned into this magical scene. The 12 to 100 mm f4 is most likely the most versatile lens that's ever been made. I mean, we're looking at 24 to 200 mm equivalent, like full frame lens. And that is absolutely insane. And the thing is, it's pocketable. So you're able to move with that and put it into places that you shouldn't be able to put a lens like that. Coupled with the fact that it has Sync IS, means that you have this otherworldly stabilization that looks like you're shooting off a Steadicam. This is a strong, powerful cinematic tool that has a place in my tool bag that no other camera can take right now.
Great stuff, guys. Let's ask the audience, who wants to see the film? I don't only want to see the trailer, I want the film. So spring 2019, right?
Yeah, at least, well, let's see if somebody funds it first. We'll have to figure out how to pay for it.
Let's do a Kickstarter and get the money and you do the film. I want to see it.
We'll make it happen.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing what is possible with such a device. Amazing. Great job. Thank you for doing the extra mile and bringing the trailer to us. And I hope that was interesting to you to see the capabilities of such a tool and to see how filmmaking can be done today. So thanks for this insight. Thanks for watching. This was the last expert talk, but upcoming is the Q&A with the questions that people have asked out there on the stream in just a moment. So there's more to come, and you should stick around. Maybe people have questions about movie making as well.
Hopefully.
See you then in a moment. Bye.
Thank you.